I just got through watching season 3 of Squid Game. The trailblazing writer and director, Hwang Dong-hyuk, has said it's the last season, and what an impactful conclusion to one of the most innovative and emotionally charged TV shows of all time. This season answers a big question. Do human beings deserve our faith? According to this show, Squid Game, the answer is inconclusive. Squid Game shows us the characters often at their worst, the worst moments of their lives, really, when they're subjected to unfathomable levels of stress, forced to play a series of games based on the law of the jungle, kill or be killed. But the rules of the game keep changing, the circumstances keep changing. Who makes the rules? It's the game makers, and new for this season, we get to spend a lot of time with the VIPs for whom the games are staged. We get to see that they're betting on the outcome of each game, betting on the players. The protagonist of all 3 seasons, Gi-Hun, returns here. He won the games in season 1. In season 2, he returned to the arena to try to put a stop to the games. And in season 3, we finally get to see who he really is. And season 3 is when Gi-Hun finally sees himself. This season, Gi-Hun grows to understand that if he's not just like the horses that he used to bet on. Remember that from season 1? He was a gambling addict who lost a fortune betting on horse races. If he's not just a horse, not even a vaunted thoroughbred, because he won the games and lived to tell the tale, let's not forget. Will he stop acting like a horse, even a thoroughbred? Can he stop? And does he? The game makers have him trapped. Before the games, Gi-Hun was a ne'er-do-well and a hopeless gambling addict. But as we've all realized by now, he's also a person with unusual abilities. He won the games in season 1. That makes him special and different. He reminds me of those gladiators who had to perform in the Colosseum just to stay alive. And their lives depended on the brutal deaths of their opponents. Gladiatorial games were a real occurrence in history. In my view of Gi-Hun's character, the arena is where we see him at his worst, but also at his best. Without giving away any spoilers, when he leaps into action in that game, I won't say which game, I realized at that moment, that's who he is, that's Gi-Hun. He was MIA for most of season 2, but he has returned. And our fan-favorite characters were always at their best when fighting not only for themselves, but for their friends. As Jesus himself said, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." This show was unforgettable, and I'll be rewatching Squid Game again and again. The last scene of the series contains a blockbuster cameo appearance by a very famous individual, so don't miss the cameo. Watch this show in its entirety to the last scene. And now for some news items. Amazon MGM Studios just announced that they've snagged Denis Villeneuve to direct the next James Bond movie. It would be the 26th Bond. Amazon purchased the James Bond franchise through its acquisition of MGM Studios in 2022. At that time, James G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli retained creative control over Bond, but earlier this year, the studio, Amazon MGM, announced it would take creative control of the franchise. There's been no announcement yet on who will play Bond. Daniel Craig concluded his term as Bond after 5 movies. Congratulations to the studio for snagging Denis Villeneuve, a renowned director and screenwriter with multiple Oscar nominations. This director has a distinctive visual style that's innovative and straight up beautiful. He's one of the best directors in the film industry, and what a coup for Amazon MGM Studios. New York City Mayor Eric Adams kicked off his campaign for re-election this week. One of his goals is ending anti-Semitism. He's come out strongly against the projected Democratic nominee, Zohran Mamdani, who has a long history of opposing the existence of the State of Israel as a Jewish state. Mamdani supports BDS, the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, which seeks to isolate Israel economically. He wants to provide free bus service, freeze rent for apartments, and build city-run grocery stores, all of which he'll allegedly pay for by taxing the rich, guaranteed to drive rich people out of the city so that there's no tax base. Small landlords will be driven out because small increases in rent help pay for maintenance and improvements. Mayor Adams has said in interviews that Mamdani wants a return to the urban decay of the 1970s. Mayor Adams declares that Mamdani either has no knowledge of the powers of the mayor or is speaking falsely about the mayor's power to do any of those things, which are not within the province of the mayor's office, but the state assembly. And yet, Mamdani, during his 4 years in the state assembly, failed to pass even one bill. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.